Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim and her pushing his gospel in truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace, blessings, and salutations be unto the elect scattered abroad. May the election of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord willing, fall upon your houses. This is brother Quanah Watts from the Arizona Great Millstone Camp. Come back at you, Lord will, with the edifying lesson through spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Lord will. It is edifying, Lord will. It is straight to the point, man. And this is going to be a, quick little in transit, man. Which ultimately inspired by, some stuff, this lady had told me, I was doing a little side gig for her, man. And, as soon as I got there, which I've done some work for her in the past, but when I got there, earlier this morning, man, scriptures say that a fool uttereth all their mind, and as soon as I got there, man, she felt as if she could, basically just vent, to me. And really, scriptures talk about when the wicked are in authority, right, the people mourn, right? So these people, are constantly stressed and depressed, and whatnot. But nonetheless, right, getting back to it, she basically was telling me, and just to give you some, context, she is, an Edomite, and when I got there, she decided to tell me that, that her husband is, possibly, about to get fired, and, explained everything to me, man. And it's really over something small, right? Nothing serious like that, but, and then she proceeded to tell me that, a lot of her, people that are under her, because she has a position, a higher position, at work, she works with, doing insurance for the company and whatnot. And she told me that, a lot of the, employees, right, because she's able to see, basically because she's in charge of the healthcare and shit like that for the company, she's able to see the different services that the people use, right? So that way she can better, tell, hey, what insurance is going to be good for, the employees down the line, whether it be the next year or the years to come and whatnot. And she told me that the one service that, majority of the employees are using is, therapists, man, behavioral health, and psychology and whatnot. These people are stressed out, She also told me that the CEO has ramped up production about 110%, right? So these people are dealing with, high stress, on top of, the tariffs and prices going up, right? But she also told me that since the beginning of last year, right, almost every quarter, right, somebody, one of their employees has ultimately either committed suicide, been on drugs, overdosed on drugs and died, or been in some kind of accident, and she said if none of her employees ultimately died, then it would be one of her employees' family members, right, ultimately dying, or suicide, overdose, whatever it may be, and as she's telling me this, I'm automatically thinking of, Deuteronomy, the 30th chapter, right? Because this is in a higher, like northern Phoenix, you know what I mean? More Edomite area, more money, more wealthier area, big ass fucking homes and whatnot. They're all damn near all Edomites and shit, man. You got Elamites and whatnot, but majority Edomites, and the first precept that came to my mind, is Deuteronomy 30:7, right? Where it talks about, that these curses, right, that have come upon us, right, as you can read in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, right, beginning at the 16th verse on down, right, those are all the different curses, that they're going to come upon our enemies, man. Those who persecuted us and whatnot, and afflicted us, and we're starting to see that, man, right? You got more and more Edomites, doing bad in their own kingdom, right? Scriptures say, Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked, man, right? And the wicked we know today is the self-proclaimed so-called Edomites, man, or self-proclaimed so-called white men, right? Biblically called the Edomites, man. You know, they're doing bad, man, right? These regular ass peons, they're in their own fucking kingdom and they're at the very fucking bottom, right? You got more Edomite homeless and on drugs and whatnot than you do Jake, you know? Now don't get it twisted, right? You still have, you know, Jake out here being homeless and Jake out here, you know, doing drugs and shit like that, you know? Hell, I personally live in a not so good area and I see a shit ton of Jake, man, right? But majority of them, right, are Edomites that I do see, man, right? Esau is doing fucking bad right now, man. Call law Yahweh Shemiel Shai, you know? And as it says in Obadiah, it says, what does it say? It said, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, man, right? And this is ultimately this is a shameful period, right, for Esau Edom, because Yahweh Shemiel Shai not only is putting these curses upon them, right, but they're being revealed at a very high and a high rate, man. All the wickedness and evil that these damn devils have done and continue to do in the earth, and Yahweh Shemiel Shai is having that, you know, being brought out, right? As it says in Second Thessalonians chapter 2, you know, and I think it's verse 7 or 8, where it says that the Lord shall consume them with his mouth, right? Which we know the mouthpiece of Yahweh Shemiel Shai is the prophets, right? And the Lord has been raising up, you know, prophets to come out here and do just that, right? Reveal who this damn devil is, man, right? Esau's agenda is being revealed, right? Esau's his characteristics, right, are being identified, you know, and it's nothing but wickedness. It's nothing but evil, right? And the Lord is bringing this damn devil down, man. You know, it just says, you know, we know Esau Edom, he works in gradualism. We know the Heavenly Father, right, through his only beloved begotten Son, works in gradualism as well, man. You know, he's bringing these damn devils down quick as shit, man. Right? Especially now, which, you know, they've already, you know, we've been seeing their decline for some period of time now, man, for a long period of time now, but hey, it's getting faster. Their decline is, you know, is increasing, right? Increasing and increasing and increasing, you know? And really, it's a beautiful thing, man, because as we see this damn devil's decline and as we see this devil's, power waning and influence and waning, and his lies and deceit, right, are out the fucking window, man. You can't lie to nobody now, man. You can't sit here and make up some type of lie to justify your wickedness and your evil and shit like that. No, man. Right? You're seeing a lot of these different nations are bucking up against Esau Edom now, man. You know? But as we see that, right, my point is, right, as we see Esau's, his decline, right, we're starting to see our ascension, man, right? Our come up. You know, Yahweh Shemiel Shai is, blessing bros, man. You know, for real, right? First and foremost, with that faith, right? That gift of faith, right? That fear of the Lord, right? Allowing us to be able to move, right, in a way that's ultimately pleasing to Yahweh Shemiel Shai, man. You know, there's been times where bros, being humble and, playing their part, and Yahweh Shemiel Shai will remove, an Edomite out of that position and put a brother there, man. You know, which is beautiful, and it's ultimately a faith booster, man. But we're seeing it, man. We're at the end of this damn devil, as it says in 2 Esdras 9. Right? Second Esdras 6, right? And verse 9, it says Esau is the end of the world and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. Right? So we got next, man. For real, we got next. Right? And we're seeing this damn Yahweh Shemiel Shai basically pulling this damn devil out of that power seat, man. He's not able to deceive the world like he did, man. He's not able to, to sit here and paint himself as, this white, pure being, man. It's being identified and it's being put in the earth, right, that this damn devil is the wicked, and the same people that he deceived are now coming up against him, right? And soon, right, to press the button on this, on these ICBM nuclear missiles and send them over here and burn this bitch down, man, right? Which is what we're constantly praying for, as the scriptures say in Isaiah 62, right? Give him no rest to make Jerusalem a praise in the earth, roughly paraphrasing, man. And we're seeing Yahweh Shemiel Shai, right, speeding things up, there's a car with the, I tend to do this every now and again. There's a car with the license plate says G9046. Lord will, I'll look it up later, man, But I tend to do that, man, every once in a while when I see that, And sometimes it be coming out spiritual, man, It be coming out spiritual. And, I hate to, go off topic, man, but, Bros was talking about, I think it was last week, Bros was talking about, deliverance and whatnot, man, and a car passed by with the, I think it was strong G 4991, and ultimately went into deliverance, man. So sometimes I'll be going into those things, man, when you look at the Strongs, right? Sometimes here in Arizona you'll see either say an H or a G, which is very spiritual, kind of weird, but nonetheless, but getting back to the point, man, Salaki for the little rant, but hey, Esau going down, man, and soon Yahweh Shemel Shah is gonna lift us up, man, and we're gonna be in the power seat, man, and these damn devils are gonna be our slaves, just as we're theirs now, right? We're under their captivity, right? Baruch 3:8, right? We are yet this day in our captivity, right? Soon we're gonna be rulers, man, right? Which we're in, if you will, right? We're in training, right, to be those rulers, man, And soon, man, it's going to be manifest, man. It's being manifested right now, but soon it's going to be 100%, 144%, if you will, right? We're going to be on top and Esau going to be on bottom, man. Beginning with their elites, all the way down to these regular ass peons, man. They're going to be in captivity. They're going to be servitude to us, man. Tributaries, After 1,000 years of serving us, man, they're going to be eradicated, Which we can't wait for either, man. These damn devils got to go, man. But I just wanted to ultimately touch on that, man. Give you that little testimony of, hey, Esau going down, man. Esau is going down. They're out here committing. Their suicide rates are up. Their drug usage is up, Oh, just to throw in there as well, Thwadi Yahweh Shemel Shah was able to remember. She also told me, that the when it comes to prescriptions and whatnot, the two, drugs that are, amongst her, employees, right? The two drugs that are highly being used is Xanax and metformin, man. So people are on antidepressants, people are on anti-anxiety, because first and foremost, they see their fucking world is crashing on them, man. Their shit is coming crashing down on them, and it's happening quickly, And when we see that, man, we give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemel Shah, man. Fuck these damn devils, man. But that's all I got, man. Lord wills that to find Lord will straight to the point, man. Quick little, in transit, spiritual talk. Again, Lord wills that to find Lord will straight to the point. Until next time I say shalom.